Okay guys, so today I'm going to be rebuilding the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm going to try to keep it more realistic, as in the last video, I practically traded away the whole entire original roster. Zion Williamson, he's going to be untouchable. He's not going to be traded for the whole entire rebuild. Lonzo Ball, I'm going to try to hold on to him. And I'm going to go with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Those guys aren't going to go anywhere for the whole rebuild. Everyone else, you know, we're trying to win a championship in like 3 seasons, so you might have to go. I'm going to start that off by looking at what the offers are for Drew Holiday. Right now, he's got 2 years, $53 million. He's not going to be there in that final year of the rebuild, and he's not going to be necessary, in my opinion. I would love to get a guy with 3 years on his contract or a young player. Zach LaVine is actually pretty interesting. We traded him away in that Bulls rebuild, but having him on this one could be very, very interesting. Gordon Hayward, not really interested in that. Rudy Gobert's interesting, but again, he's only going to have those 2 years on his contract, which I don't really know if I want to do. Aaron Gordon's interesting, a first-round pick there. Malcolm Brogdon, we got him in our Bulls rebuild. I actually really like him at $20 million for 4 years. That is something I'm thinking about doing, and I might end up. Bradley Beal, if you just had 1 more year on your contract, I would do that very fast. Chris Middleton, but I think I'm just going to do this one for Malcolm Brogdon. We're also getting this random player. Really doesn't matter. We'll take on Malcolm Brogdon. Looking how the roster is right now, we've got Lonzo Ball, Malcolm Brogdon, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Derek Favors. Seeing how our contracts are looking, we've got to free up that money going into the future. JJ Redick, that's fine for now. Lonzo Ball, he's going to have to get that contract extension, but I definitely want to keep him if we can. Zion Williamson's obviously going to be here for the whole rebuild. Darius Miller, that's someone we'll probably look to get rid of, right now. And maybe Derek Favors, just because he only has 1 year left on his contract. Let's see what we could get for them. Looking at that, we got Derek Favors here. Where's Darius Miller? Darius Miller's all the way down here. We can get some decent value back from this. Hopefully the young player that's on his rookie deal, that would be lovely. That obviously helps us when it comes to free agency. Andre Iguodala, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Joe Ingles. Not really liking what we're seeing so far. Jalen Brunson and Dwight Powell. Don't think I want to do that. Jeremy Lamb is actually pretty interesting. Both these players we would have for the rest of the rebuild. They are on pretty decently sized contracts, but at least they will hold trade value going into the future. For now, I'm going to do that. I think that's going to make our team look pretty solid. Looking at the rotation now, we've got Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Malcolm Brogdon, Zion Williamson, Jahlil Okafor, JJ Redick, TJ Warren, and Jeremy Lamb off our bench, and Josh Hart, and each one more. We definitely have a lot of shooting guards just in terms of this roster. We might as well make a run in the playoffs. I'm going to see if we could trade away some of these guys to get, better big men off the bench, or even maybe a starting center. Each one more. Let's see what his market is. Maybe each one more. Josh Hart. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how much Josh Hart will progress. Jackson Hayes is actually a guy that we could put into that lineup. But let's see what we can get for each one more in Josh Hart. Really looking for young talent. Really looking for players on the multi-year contracts like I mentioned before. But really don't care. If we could get just like some first round picks for these guys, I'll be so fine with that. Jalen Brunson and Courtney Lee. These offers are kind of disappointing. Maybe if I did them individually. Josh Hart, what's the market on you? Hopefully, just a couple first round picks. Okay, not a couple, but a first round pick, a young player, something simple like that. Daniel Gafford in a second. That's actually quite intriguing. He progressed pretty well in my last rebuild. I would think about doing that. Damian Jones, Derrick Jones Jr., Dwayne Bacon. I'm thinking I'm going to do that one we saw to start. We actually got 28 trade offers. Dario Saric. We're getting first round pick offers here. Gary Trent. Trey Burke. I'm just going to do this Daniel Gafford in a second. I like this deal. And then let me see what the market is on each one more. And we will head into the season. Where you at? Each one more. Let's see what we can get for you. Hopefully something decent. Cristiano Felicio. Do not want that contract on my books. Mo Harkless. Cody Zeller, Dante Exum, Taj Gibson, Jeremy Grant. I'm not going to give a first round pick for that. Doug McDermott. I'm probably just going to do a 1 year deal. Get a better big man for this bench unit, if that's even possible. We'll give you a 2021 second round pick. You gave me Daniel Tice. I'm not sure if we're going to do this one either. He's a solid 3-point shooter at 81. Let's just do this Damian Jones. We'll give him a second round pick. I think it'll make our bench unit a lot better, but I honestly, I might have made a mistake there because I think I actually want Jackson Hayes to be getting some minutes, which he is. So this rotation right now is fine for me. I'll see you guys at the end of season number 1. Okay, guys, so at the end of the season, we actually had Zion Williamson take home Rookie of the Year, getting 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, over a steal, and a block a game. We have anybody else anywhere, anybody on the all-rookie team? I guess is really all we're looking for, unless Lonzo Ball or something made an all-defensive team. All-rookie team, we've obviously got Zion Williamson. Any more Pelicans to be seen? Doesn't look like it. We clearly did not make the NBA playoffs, which is fine with us. We'll get out of here, and I'll see you guys at the NBA draft. Okay, guys, so we're at the NBA draft. LaMelo Ball ends up going with the #1 overall pick in the draft, giving us our option of anyone. We can go James Wiseman, we can go Anthony Edwards. I think I am leaning more towards James Wiseman. We will see who is available. Looking at our options, we're loading it in, choosing our prospect. We got Anthony Edwards here, James Wiseman, who we've scouted at 98%. Not really sure what his overall will come out to be, but I assume it's going to be pretty high. I think this one's pretty clear. We're going James Wiseman. Hopefully he's around an 80 overall, and we will sim through the rest of this draft. Sim to the end, see what we got. Let's see. Hopefully he's an 80 overall. Yes, he is. 80 overall James Wiseman. I was thinking about going Anthony Edwards, but we have Malcolm Brogdon, we have Lonzo Ball, so I'm absolutely fine with James Wiseman there. So looking how our roster is shaping up right now, Malcolm Brogdon, Zion Williamson, we're going to have James Wiseman, Lonzo Ball. I like how everything is coming together. I don't think we're going to have much cap space at all because of that trade where we ended up taking on TJ Warren and we took Jeremy Lamb. These are two guys that I'm going to look to trade ahead of next season, maybe even sometime in this offseason if there is a free agent we are heavily interested in. But we're going to go to the draft, not the draft, we're going to go to free agency, and I'll see what we can do. Going to team and player options, obviously we're going to accept that for Lonzo Ball. Qualifying offers, extend all these. No. Damian Jones at 2.8 million. He's a 76 overall. I still don't think I'm going to do that. Brandon Ingram's actually a free agent. I probably should have ended up trading him. We're going to try to sign him, I guess. Hopefully that works out. He's going to have bird rights on him, I believe. Where is Brandon Ingram? Yes, we have bird rights. Let's try to get this contract out the way, and we should be good to go. I did not realize that, but hey, we'll have on a 4-year contract, which should allow us to get him traded. Let's see if we want anyone here. Pascal Siakam, obviously we're not going to have cap space to bring in any of these guys. Let's get, sign on Brandon Ingram. We're good to go there. Frank Jackson, Damian Jones, we're declining all those for now. Let's get out of the moratorium period. Get Brandon Ingram on our roster, and we should be good to go. We're matching everything. And we got Brandon Ingram now, I suppose. Is he on that 4-year deal? Where's Brandon Ingram? Right now, he's on that 1-year, $3.9 million contract. So I guess he just ended up taking the qualifying offer. Not exactly sure what happened there. But going back to our event list, is there any free agents we can even bring in? We have $10 million under the cap space. So we cannot bring in Paul Millsap, Marcus Gasol, DeMarcus Cousins. JaVale McGee would be interesting as a backup player. Right now, he's at 3 years. He wants $30 million. Not sure if I want to do that. Serge Ibaka, Nikola Mirotic. DeJounte Murray is actually something that's very interesting. It's going to be hard to get him at that price, but, he really fit our defensive identity as a backup point guard. Let me see what we can get for TJ Warren, free up some cap space, and let's try to sign DeJounte Murray. I think that'd be a decent addition. We could actually get Tobias Harris if we give up JJ Redick and TJ Warren. We don't really need a player at that position. I did not expect the trade value to be this high. Kevin Porter is interesting. 2 first-round picks is absolutely beautiful. I will probably end up doing that unless we get a crazy amount of value. Caris LeVert's someone that's interesting, but I'm not sure how he's going to progress in this game if they're going to give, him too much potential. I think I'm just going to do these first-round picks. Let's see if Jeremy Lamb ends up having any more trade value that we should jump on immediately. Seeing what the offers are here. If we get more first-round picks, that could obviously help us with a trade. Josh Richardson's interesting, but he's only got 1 year left on his deal. He does have a player option on the 2nd year. Larry Nance Jr., Patrick Beverly, KZ Opala, Mitchell Robinson. That's, again, interesting. He's going to be a restricted free agent. Still has 1 year left on his player option, team option, and we're getting a first-round selection. We are giving up Daniel Gafford, but I think I'm going to do that. Monte Morris and Will Barton is interesting, but I think I'm just going to jump on this offer for Mitchell Robinson, and we should be looking pretty good, and that should give us enough money, I believe, to make an offer over here on DeJounte Murray. Willie Cauley-Stein's interesting. I want to check, make sure there's no crazy young players that need to get offers. Doesn't look like it. Michael Porter Jr. is actually very interesting. I think he should progress very well. I'm actually going to put an offer in on Michael Porter Jr. And then I'm also going to put this offer in, like I mentioned before, on wherever he is. DeJounte Murray, 3 years, $72 million. That's a lot, obviously, for DeJounte Murray. But I know in this game he does progress very, very well. DeJounte Murray ends up agreeing to our deal. I want to wait and see if Michael Porter does, because I think Michael Porter is going to progress a lot faster. Let's see. I have a feeling he will. Let's go. Michael Porter Jr. signs. Now I don't think we're able to bring in DeJounte Murray, but I'm fine, absolutely fine with Michael Porter. He's going to progress very, very well. He could end up probably being a starter after next season. So I'm excited to see how that works out, and I'll see you guys at the start of season number 2. So we're at the beginning of season number 2. I ended up making a trade, but my app ended up crashing. I had Brandon Ingram, who only has 1 year remaining on his deal. Same thing with JJ Redick. I wanted to get as much value as soon as I could, so I ended up getting Jared Culver, who right now is an 80 overall, still on his rookie deal, should progress going into the start of season number 3. So right now, our roster is looking pretty solid in my opinion. Lonzo Ball, he's only got 1 year remaining, but I'm going to make it a priority that we re-sign him this offseason. We've got Malcolm Brogdon, Michael Porter Jr., who's now at an 80 overall, Zion Williamson, James Wiseman with Mitchell Robinson, Jared Culver, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and these guys are irrelevant off our bench. That's what we got, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Okay, guys, so at the end of the season, we ended up finishing with 48 wins. Let's see if we had anybody on the All-NBA teams. Doesn't look like we did. Or do we have James Wiseman anywhere for that All-Rookie team? Yes, he is. He ended up making All-Rookie first team. That's great to see. Let's see if we made the NBA playoffs, which yes, we did. We did as the 5th seed. We're going to go up against the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round. I'm really not worried about what we're going to do here. If we get bounced out in the first round, not a big deal. I don't expect a long playoff run. We're really hoping for in season number 3, we're contending for that title. But right now, we're down 2-1, 3-1. It looks like we're going to get bounced in the first round. Yes, we do. We actually should have a decent amount of draft picks, because I know we have some stored for that 2021 draft. We made some moves early on. They got us some draft picks for that. And we obviously have that one from the Los Angeles Lakers that we got in the whole Anthony Davis deal. So I'll see you guys around the time of the NBA draft. Okay, guys, so we end up having the 8th overall pick, the 17th overall pick, and the 22nd overall pick. All picks that I don't plan on holding on. So let's see what we can get for all 3. That's a lot of value. Hopefully, that can turn into a very, very good player. The offers I'm seeing right now are a little underwhelming. Maybe we're going to have to stack these guys. We're going to have to find a trade on our own. Kyle Lowry. I'm not liking any of these trades we're seeing right now. Danilo Gallinari is interesting, but we're really trying to make power moves. I want to see what would happen if we were to stack this with some of our other players. I'm going to look around, and I'll let you guys know when I find one. Okay, guys, so we ended up trading all those first-round picks, plus a couple more going into the future, and we landed the #1 overall selection. Now, this is not someone or a pick I really want to make. We don't need a #1 overall pick at this point, so we're going to see what the value is for that #1 overall selection. I'm assuming it's pretty high. Jaden McDaniels and Willie Hernangomez. You're crazy if you think I'm taking that. Zach LaVine and Joe Harris. Kevin Love. These trade offers are very underwhelming. That's an interesting one. Jimmy Butler, a 90 overall, but I'm not sure if I want to do that one. DeJounte Murray, RJ Hampton, and a 24 first-round pick. Jamal Murray's kind of interesting, but again, not really thinking I want to do that. Pascal Siakam is actually very interesting. I'm not really sure how he would fit into our roster, as Zion Williamson would probably have to go to the small forward position, but it at least is a ton of value. Let me just see who's going to be available in the NBA draft, and I'll let you know if I make a selection or end up getting a trade done. Okay, guys, so we're at the NBA draft. We really haven't seen trade offers I like, so I think for now, I'm just going to take Jalen Green. We know he's a 79 overall, at least for right now, and then maybe we could trade him at the start of the season. For right now, he's going to be on a rookie deal. That's fine for us. Will still give us some more flexibility instead of taking on like a big contract for trading someone like Pascal Siakam or something like that. Do we make the right decision there? Yes, he is an 85 overall, not 85 overall, 80 overall. So it looks like we did pretty solid there. Rookie signings, let's make sure we get him on his deal. 2 years, $13.5 million. I'll take that. Team and player options, Zion Williamson, that's obviously getting accepted. Jared Culver, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, all bringing them back. And as far as our qualifying offers, we're going to extend that to Lonzo Ball. We're going to take away these, not offering you guys anything. We obviously need to re-sign Lonzo Ball. Looking at what our salary cap is looking right now, I don't think we should have a lot of salary cap. Doesn't look like it. Right now, we're minus 21 million as we have massive contracts going to guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Malcolm Brogdon. These guys are expendable, and if we really see an opportunity to bring in a solid free agent, we might end up trading him. Seeing the market, obviously, this is that 2021 class. I would love to go for a guy like Paul George, maybe even Donovan Mitchell. I think those would be nice players. So I think what I'm going to look to do is get rid of Michael Porter Jr., get rid of Malcolm Brogdon, and see if we can make any moves in this free agency. Okay, guys, so we end up finding a trade that's going to free up a lot of cap. We're giving up a lot of value, but we're getting an amazing player in return. That's going to be getting rid of Michael Porter Jr. and James Wiseman, but bringing in DeAndre Ayton. I actually really like that deal. Seeing what that allows us to do now in free agency, hopefully we can make offers on guys like Kawhi Leonard, like Paul George, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, seeing if we can. Yes, we can. Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to be our priority. I think he would be an absolute beautiful fit, you know, next to Lonzo Ball, next to Zion Williamson. So Kawhi Leonard, we're going to make that offer. Let me double check that Lonzo Ball is a restricted free agent so we can worry about him a little bit later. Yes, he is. So I'm going to offer that on him. Offer this on Paul George. Would love to bring in Paul George as well. We'll give you a player option, no trade clause. Yes, we'll do that. And then I'll also send one on Donovan Mitchell. Wouldn't mind having him whatsoever. Would be great. I'll give you the player option, and I cannot give you a no trade clause. It's fine with me. Let's see if anyone accepts. Hopefully Kawhi Leonard, then obviously Paul George. Let's see if we can make any deals. Yes, we ended up landing Paul George. We are not going to renounce the rights. What? Okay, well, for now, we're going to renounce rights on Lonzo Ball. Hopefully that doesn't get rid of his restricted free agency and everything like that. Let's do that. Bring in Paul George. Utah Jazz have decided to sign Donovan Mitchell. Kawhi Leonard's going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Hopefully they didn't bring back Giannis as well, or else that team is going to be scary and really hard to take down. Now let's see what we can do with Lonzo Ball. Where are you at? Lonzo Ball, let's negotiate your contract. I know this is crazy amounts of money, but we shall still do it. But he's just, actually, I need to make sure let's get out of the moratorium period. Let's make sure we have Paul George on the roster before we make any crazy moves, before we mess that chance up with the whole Lonzo Ball situation. But hopefully going in, now we should have Paul George on the roster. Yes, we do. We've got Paul George. We've got DeAndre Ayton. And let's get Lonzo Ball back on this roster if we can. He's an unrestricted free agent, but we still have bird rights. No, we don't, because we had to renounce the rights in order to bring Paul George. So Lonzo Ball might be gone. I'm going to try to get him down the road if it's even possible, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case as of right now, unless we can somehow free up more cap space. But with a $40 million contract like Paul George on our books, that's going to be very hard. But let's see if there's any, you know, holes in their roster that we can address. Maybe on minimum contracts. In terms of the point guard spot, we are looking extremely weak. We still have guys like Jalen Green that we can make moves with in order to bolster that position. Malcolm Brogdon is another guy we could trade because we have amazing players at those shooting guard spots. At small forward, we could use some help. At power forward, we could use some help. We've got a lot of moves to be made before we're making a run at this title. Okay, guys, so at the start of the season, this is what the roster is looking like. George Hill at the point guard spot. We're really weak there right now. Then we got Malcolm Brogdon, Paul George, Zion Williamson, and DeAndre Ayton looking very good right there. And then off the bench, we've got a lot of solid pieces. We've got the #1 overall pick in the draft, Jalen Green. We've got Mitchell Robinson, Jared Culver, Jackson Hayes, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think I'm going to see what we can get for maybe Mitchell Robinson or Jared Culver to try and get a better point guard. That's definitely a major need for us right now. Seeing what our options are. Where's Mitchell Robinson? Hopefully we can get some decent value. He's only got 1 year remaining on his deal. We can get Matisse Thybulle, Wendell Carter, Colin Sexton. That's definitely an interesting one. I don't know if I want to get rid of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. As I said, I didn't want to do that at the beginning. Obviously, we ended up getting rid of Lonzo Ball. That was because we had opportunity to bring in Paul George. I still have interest in bringing Lonzo Ball back. I'll see. Whoa. We can actually get De'Aaron Fox if we give up Mitchell Robinson and Malcolm Brogdon. I think I'm going to do that. We're also getting a 2022 first round selection. I'm going to do this so fast. Wow, what an absolute move. Now we're looking at De'Aaron Fox, Jared Culver, Paul George. What did he end up doing last season? He ended up getting 18 points, 9 assists, 51% from the field and 39% from 3. We got Paul George, Zion Williamson, and DeAndre Ayton off the bench. Jackson Hayes, Jalen Green, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and George Hill. I'm going to look for a trade, see maybe what we can get for Jalen Green, and I'll let you guys know when I find. Getting crazy. Jalen Green for Trae Young. We just got that offer. You guys already know we have to do that. Trae Young might not be our starting point guard and we have De'Aaron Fox as our sixth man, or maybe it's the other way around. No, I think I want Trae Young here with De'Aaron Fox coming off the bench. This team is looking absolutely special right now. Trae Young, Jared Culver, Paul George, Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, with De'Aaron Fox, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and George Hill. Really, everything is looking great. We have Nickeil at the 2, De'Aaron at the 1. I would say just looking for a small forward off the bench, and then we're looking beautiful. I think we still have some first-round selections. I'll try to find a trade there, and then we're going to be looking nice going into season number 3. Guys, we ended up finding a trade. We got rid of George Hill, gave up a ton of future picks as we are in a win-now scenario, and we brought in Cam Reddish. This team is just looking absolutely scary. Right now, we've got Trae Young, Jared Culver, Paul George, Zion Williamson, and DeAndre Ayton in our starting lineup. Off the bench, we have an amazing six-man in De'Aaron Fox to go along with Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm actually going to move this to a 9-man rotation, give everybody else some more minutes. Where is that at? Bench depth. We're just going to 9. See how that changes everything again. I don't know why I keep putting De'Aaron Fox there. We want Trae Young. So Trae Young, Jared Culver, Paul George, Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, with De'Aaron Fox, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Absolutely love it. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Hopefully, we're front runners to bring home the title. So midway through this season, we're doing pretty solid. Not as good as I expected. I expected us to just be blowing everybody out. I want to make some moves for our bench. I'm going to end up getting Kevin Knox, who right now this season is getting 23 points. He's shooting 47% from the field and 44% from 3. We've got to get rid of Jackson Hayes, but that's fine with us. We are going to need some help at that center spot, so I'm going to see, we have Cam Reddish, who we got earlier in the year. He's getting 19 points. He's shooting 50% from the field and 42% from 3, so I don't necessarily mind having them off the bench with Nickeil Alexander-Walker and De'Aaron Fox. But maybe we just got this guy, Ignas Brazdeikis, plus James Johnson. Can we get a better center? I'm not really sure what our options. Hopefully we can get an 80-plus center. That would make things a lot easier. Let's see what we can do. Jakob Poeltl. That'll probably do the job. What is Jakob Poeltl doing for them right now? He's getting 14 rebounds. Last season, he got 12 rebounds. He can clearly rebound the basketball. That's really all we need. I'm doing that. We have to give up a first-round pick. But now looking at our rotation, it's getting better. Every trade we make. De'Aaron Fox, I still don't want you as my starting point guard. I want Trae Young there. So we've got Trae Young, Jared Culver now at 85, Paul George, Zion Williamson, and DeAndre Ayton. And then off the bench, we've got De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Knox, Cam Reddish, and Jakob Poeltl. I do want to give some minutes. Let me maybe take away some from De'Aaron Fox, a little bit away from Jared Culver, just so Nickeil Alexander-Walker is getting a little bit of time. That's what we've got, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Guys, so at the end of the season, we see Russell Westbrook take home MVP. Makur Maker wins Rookie of the Year. Bobo, Sixth Man, Defensive Player of the Year, Anthony Davis. And Jordan Poole wins Most Improved. Kenny Atkinson wins Coach of the Year. Seeing at All-NBA First Team, do we have anybody here? No Zion Williamson, no Paul George. All-NBA Second. Any Pelicans? We still don't see any Pelicans. What is going on? Not even an All-NBA Third Team. That's a little ridiculous. And in defensive teams, we still see, okay, now we got Paul George on all defensive second team. We end up finishing with 63 wins. Good enough to be the #1 seed in the Western Conference. At times we struggled, but at the end of the season, we ended up finishing with like a 20-game streak right there at the end. We ended up getting 63 wins. Next closest was 57. We ended up finishing with the best record in the NBA. Looking at our playoff stats, or not playoff stats, player stats, where is those at? Let's see. We were led in scoring by Zion Williamson, getting 20 points, 9 rebounds, shooting 54% from the field. He was taking over 6 threes a game where he was making 36% of them. Then we had Trae Young at 19 points per game and 7 assists. DeAndre Ayton did his thing. Paul George, who is actually, our $40 million contract player, was 4th in scoring, getting only 15 points per game, but he did it with solid efficiency. That's all we want to see. We know what he can do on the defensive end, make it all in defensive second team. And then on the bench, we got Kevin Knox, De'Aaron Fox, and then Jared Culver's actually in our starting lineup, but he brings that defense. He brings, hopefully, efficient three-point shooting, yes, at 40%. Cam Reddish, Jakob Poeltl, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. This team is very scary. Hopefully, we win this NBA title. We don't get, bounced out in the first round of the Denver Nuggets. That would be very sad. We are up 1-0. Let's hopefully we just sweep them. We go against, looks like the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round. We are actually tied 2 games apiece. Let's not go down 3-2. That would be very scary. We're up 3-2. Let's not go to game 7. We end up winning in 6 games, going against the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round. Any upsets so far? The Portland Trailblazers end up losing to the Golden State Warriors. The second seed, Philadelphia 76ers, they survive. Brooklyn Nets survive. in round number 2. Let's take down the Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully this isn't going to be too bad. We're up 1-0. We're up 2-0. Let's go right by them. Let's sweep them. It's 3-1. Let's not blow a 3-0. Let's not blow a 3. Okay. We end up winning in 7 games. We almost blew a 3-0 lead. That would be extremely disappointing. You can't simulate game by game anymore, which really sucks. I don't know why they got rid of that in this year's 2K. We are tied 2 games apiece. We are up 2-1. We're going to stop the simulator there, see who's doing good for us in the last game. Even with James Harden and Russ Westbrook combining for 70 points, DeAndre Ayton's 30 helps us get the victory. 2-1. Let's win this series. Let's go to the NBA Finals. It's 2 games apiece. We're up 3-2. It is Game 7, and we have been eliminated in the Western Conference Finals in 7 games. Wow. Losing to the Houston Rockets. Let's see who ends up taking home the NBA championship. The Brooklyn Nets are up 3-1. 4-1. They win as Kyrie Irving averages 40 points, 10 assists, shooting 51% from the field and 48% from 3. Let's see that Houston Rockets team we ended up losing to. It was James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Clint Capella, LaMarcus Aldridge. So this is the team that took us down. This is basically the roster they have this season, plus LaMarcus Aldridge. And this is what our roster is looking like. Paul George, DeAndre Ayton, Trae Young, Zion Williamson, De'Aaron Fox. That is literally 5 90-plus overalls. Really crazy. And then off the bench, we were having guys like Kevin Knox, Cam Reddish, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Jakob Poeltl. I did my best. That's it for you guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And peace.